The NSA is really there to spy on them, control them, burn a few of their minions to keep them all in line, selectively enforcing laws. Let's talk about some of the lower level minions, the police, the military, those that have been slowly twisted to accept all of this. What do they have to look forward to going along with this system?
Well, what we have is really what's already happened over many years. And we've had a generation who've grown up very often in single-parent families, no fathers. Their choices were either join the local gang that replaces your father, that's the only male figure you have, but they've also been brought up with video games and violence and guys wearing black uniforms with power and badges who seem to be the winners. That's what young men see.
So they changed the male archetype to a thug with an ugly look on his face, all the toys now, who's a UN soldier who beats people's brains in with no due process. And so the males then, like a baby duck, they imprint on that through Cobra Commander.
There's no doubt at all. And they have raised a generation worldwide to have this image of the black uniform, the power, the big machine gun, and booting around these little people that don't even seem to be human to these people in uniform. You see, the indoctrination, the scientific indoctrination of the military is very, very precise.
And they know that males want to be warriors, so they say your dad, your grandpa, your grandma, they can't teach you how to shoot. You can't be armed. Civilians can't be armed. That gun culture is bad. But then if you go join the dark side, then you're allowed to carry out these male activities.
You have that, but you also have the tribalism is allowed to basically progress. You see, in society, they've stopped basic tribalism. It's been condemned until it's a taboo subject.
And then created false systems within their control.
That's right. So you can join this fraternity, this brotherhood, and suddenly you're one of the gang. Yeah, they'll fight and die for you. You'll lie for each other. The cops have been doing that forever. So that's the whole paradigm there, and they're well paid. They can also have little goodies and little things that the general public can't get access to.
Special status.
Yes.
Take California, where upwards of 1 million people can't get tickets, can't get DWIs, can't get red light cameras because their license number is encoded in the computer as above the law.
That's correct. And so you do have a militarized youth that have grown up with the games. They've been desensitized to killing because that's what games are all about, is getting from the beginning to the end and killing as much as possible. So that's what it is to be a man to these characters. They see the public really as its. They don't see them as people anymore. Powerless its. Yeah.
It's an us against them. They teach them we're civilian scum. They're the godlike creatures that are doing all these bad things for their own safety and their brotherhood. But the brotherhood really is there to flush them down the toilet, and the bankers are about to take their pension funds as well. Alan Watts, stay there. Phone calls straight ahead right here on GCN and PrisonPlanet.tv.
Hello, I'm Steve Shank. We're entering a holiday season never before seen in America. We're thankful for the warning given by members of Mr. Obama's campaign team of the coming international incident, which will force unpopular decisions. Without this warning, many of us who still have money available would have unknowingly wasted it on Christmas gifts that will be useless when the only food available is in a government breadline. When the president is faced with the expected national security incident, the in-place Patriot legislation will control transport and distribution of food. Those of us who are able to take care of ourselves must put in supplies of food. This will free up the relief organizations to give food to those unable or not smart enough to prepare. The greatest gift this Christmas is life itself, food for these unknown times. Call 800-409-5633, on the web, efoodsdirect.com, 800-409-5633.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden.
This is his MO.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
Now that the election is over and the shock is beginning to wear off, Ready Reserve Foods, in an effort to get as many Americans prepared for the promised changes of the new administration and to help you and your family survive the global economic crash, Ready Reserve is offering the pre-inauguration special. Between now and January 20th, 2009, all food units U1 through U7 are being offered at wholesale prices. That's a 33% savings. A year's supply of meals starts as low as 73 cents per meal. Ready Reserve Food offers only the highest quality dehydrated food, packed in double enameled cans in an inert nitrogen atmosphere, allowing a 15-plus year shelf life. Ready Reserve has been manufacturing since 1972, giving them the freedom to offer you amazing savings. Great tasting Ready Reserve Foods at wholesale prices. Order now at ReadyReserveFoods.com or call today. 1-800-453-2202. That's 1-800-453-2202.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
We are back live with Alan Watt, our guest. I want to go ahead and go to your phone calls. First up is Matt in Iowa. Matt, thank you for holding. You're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to pass along to you. I don't know if you'd seen, you were talking about cops and other shows that kind of accustom people to presence of armed public servants, quote unquote, in their lives. But I was watching ABC, and this new show, Homeland Security USA, is going to be on.
Yeah, they're showing us who our new bosses are and how we're going to have national police with the military. And again, everybody they go after is always guilty in these made-for-TV shows and dramas and then real-life shows. There's a whole bunch of new Homeland Security shows, and it's come out. The federal government is funding and financing, but not just here. Governments worldwide are producing similar shows. Go ahead.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, too, was I was Christmas shopping the other day, and there were these younger kids hanging out in the mall distributing Go Green bags, which is whatever, that's fine, giving out bags to reuse again. But on the side of it, it said Go Green. Underneath of it was Midwest One Bank, and the O in the Go Green was scarily similar to the O of Obama's logo or whatever.
Oh, well, they're going to have the environmental brigade, the youth brigades, the elderly brigades, and Obama's website said it will be compulsory for everybody to serve the government. And then his chief of staff has said that, written a book about it. Obama's given speeches. And then when we made a big deal out of it, he pulled that off his website, but is going ahead with the programs. Alan Watt comments on what he was talking about.
Yeah, this whole system is guaranteed to be run under the guise of greening. The Green Party was set up to actually kick off that whole agenda, and that will be the big stick. It's to do with depopulation as part of it. They keep hammering there's too many of us. We can't go on with unrestricted consumption, sustainability. It's in every single speech they're making from every quarter, from every country. And so that's being hammered into the general population, that we are responsible for the terrible state of the world, and it's all our fault, and we've got to start cutting our numbers drastically and stop consuming the way we are. We've got to remember, too, that Bertrand Russell, who only gave out everything that he learned from the big world meetings he attended, the big think tanks that planned all this, he said eventually they'd have to create some kind of situation where eventually governments would dish out credits instead of money, and so the bank would be run through the government to the people themselves individually. So we'll all be issued with credits. Now, these guys have planned this for a long, long time. We're simply going through the script right now.
Now, to be clear, you've said this, I've said this, we're only reading government documents, what they've been quietly planning, now they're unveiling it. The private banks come in, issue all this liquidity, infect all the stocks, the bonds, the mutual funds, the 401ks, the pensions, the government pensions, fire, police, teachers. They set all this up. Then they implode the economy. They come in as the savior, and they say the new model is you'll pay your taxes directly to the IMF and World Bank. And now suddenly the last few years, you don't fill out your income tax to the exchequer. You don't fill out your income tax in the United States to the IRS. And now it's to the Federal Reserve. It's now to